Hi guys, welcome to Pita's Kitchen. Today we are making chile rellenos. There's so many ways to get creative with making chile rellenos, but today I'm going to show you guys the authentic Mexican chile relleno dish. The only thing I'm tweaking is that I am using mozzarella cheese instead of queso fresco. Reason being, in my family, we like the texture of the melting consistency of it. That's why we choose mozzarella cheese over queso fresco. I'm using 5 Chiles Poblanos. I'm using 1 cup of flour, a dash of salt, my cheese, 3 eggs, and a bag for the chiles to sweat in. Okay, so now with the poblanos that I have, I'm gonna set them on my stove, let them start burning, and get them nice and toasty. Okay, so now it's time for me to flip them over. They have been burning for 3 to 4 minutes. Do you guys see that? That's how the chile is supposed to look all around. So as you see here, this is a perfect toasty chile poblano. This is how they're supposed to look like. Now they're ready to be put in the bag for them to sweat. Let them sweat covered up for 15 to 20 minutes. The sweatier they are, the better they are to peel. Now that we're going to let the poblanos sit for 15 to 20 minutes, we could get started off on our cheese. Okay, so now that we're going to start cutting off our slices of cheese to put in our chile poblanos, I like to cut them around this size. I always try to choose my chile poblanos kind of thick and fat, so I could put 3 to 4 slices of these in there. Now that we're done cutting up our cheese slices, we are going to head over and start beating our egg whites. Now we're going to start on our egg batter for the chile rellenos. We are only using the egg whites, and we're going to leave the yolk on the slide because we're going to need that after our egg batter is nice and fluffy. We're going to incorporate it in. This is just the way I got taught to do it by my mom. We're gonna start. We're just gonna keep mixing this until this gets really nice and fluffy. This is the consistency and the fluffiness it's supposed to look like. You add the egg yolk into your batter. So you start mixing. Okay guys, so now it's time to start peeling our chile rellenos. I remember when I was little and I used to help my mom make chile rellenos. The only part I did not like about helping with chile rellenos was the mixing. She had a hand mixer and oh my gosh, I felt like it took hours because she's like, you have to get it nice and fluffy until it doesn't move anymore. So I would feel like I was just mixing and I was like, Mom, is it done yet? No, and I would switch hands. Mom, is it done yet? Mom, I'm tired. Nope, you wanted to help. You have to wait. It felt like hours. That hand mixer, man. So by peeling these, you could use a knife or you could also use your fingers. Whatever feels easier for you. If this is your first time making them, I would suggest be really gentle and use your hands. Use your fingers because you don't want to cut them. If you make a little tear or something, if you make one, well, that's where you could insert your cheese in. But if you make a couple, you're probably going to have your cheese fall out or you're going to have to use toothpicks. If you are a beginner, you're probably going to use toothpicks so you could close it in. So while you are frying them, the cheese doesn't fall out. But I don't use toothpicks. I've been making these for way too long. And I kind of got like a little expertise on making chile relleno. So I'm just gonna have them all nice and peeled like this, and I'll show you how to insert the cheese. Okay, so now that we have our chiles nice and peeled, we are going to make a little cut to insert the cheese. Sometimes, like I said, when you are peeling them, you will get a cut because they're so tender because you let them sweat. But the more you let them sweat, the better because the easier it is to peel off the burnt. So I am going to insert the cheese. Some people also, like my mom and I know like other aunts, they take out the seeds. I don't. They don't bother me. If it bothers you, you could also make a cut up here, take out the seeds, but be as careful as you can, and that's where you would insert your cheese. So on this one, I'm able to put 3. And you see how small the cut is? You want to make the cut as small as you can so you don't have to use toothpicks. But like I said, if it's your first time, you probably do want a bigger slice. And I'll show you actually right now how to make it with toothpicks. I have one right here. I'll take out 2. But make sure if you're feeding people, let them know, hey, I have toothpicks. You do not want them to bite into one. Let them know there's toothpicks. Be aware, be careful when they're cutting up their chile. But this is how you go. I'm gonna do this to the rest. Also, a little fun fact about chile rellenos, they are not spicy. It is rare, and it can happen that you get one that's a little bit on the tingy side, but they are usually, for the most part, not spicy. I know a lot of people always look at like, oh no, it's spicy, or it's a big chile and you're adding cheese to it. It's probably like a jalapeno popper. No. It's so rare if you find one that has a little bit of a kick to it. So these are kid friendly, or people that don't like spiciness. You could eat these and they're super delicious. These are like a main Hispanic dish that every household basically cooks. Okay, now that our chile poblanos are nice and filled with cheese, we're going to add our pinch of salt to our flour. We're going to whisk it in. We have our egg batter nice and beat. Now our oil is hot. A little tip, always when you're frying food, put napkins down on a plate so it could absorb as much oil as it can. Now for the satisfactory part. We're gonna grab our chile and we're gonna cover it with flour. Now that's nice and covered, we are going to dip it in. Ooh, look at that, guys. You guys want it nice and now that it looks like this, we're gonna add it to our oil. Literally like 25 to 30 seconds, and then we're gonna flip it over. Okay, for the flipping part, you could use one of these spatulas, but I'm not afraid to get into the oil. I've been doing this for a long time, and these have long stems. If it didn't have a long stem, I would use a spatula to flip it over. So I kind of just grab it and I flip it over. See how beautiful it looks? Now that this one is cooked for both sides, I'm going to grab it. Put it in our napkin so it could absorb as much oil as it can. Also, when cooking the chile rellenos, you also want your oil to be on medium. I had some leftover cheese, so I just went ahead and cut them in half. What I also like to do, the kids love these, adults too, but mainly for my kids when they don't want to eat chile rellenos, I just splash them in flour. I put them in here. Give you an example of one. These also cook really quick. Okay, so this is our chile relleno recipe. We ended up making some cheesy fried bites. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to dive in. These are their cheesy bites. Look at that. That's so good. Now let's get ready to cut into the chile relleno. So I could show you guys the cheese. Wow. I probably shouldn't be doing this because I would never eat it like this, but I just want to show you guys how delicious it is. Thank you. Hope you guys like it. I hope you guys make these, and I hope you guys give me some feedback because this is how I learned how to make it for my mom. And it's a really simple and delicious Mexican authentic dish.